Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mid-Atlantic Modeling League's Chaos Cup. We are in the quarterfinals of this first competition of the season, and it's going to be the number 4 versus number 5 seeds up next. They're going to face off again. The winner of this match is going to face off against the winner of the game we just saw. And tonight we're going to have for you Odin, it's Nuffle versus the Fishy Fiends, Clypheus versus Ajax, Norse versus Chaos Renegades. We will not keep the coaches waiting. We'll get this game started right now. We'll talk about these teams as they set up for their opening kickoff here, as they were scheduled to start about 11 minutes ago. Yeah, this is going to be a Norse matchup versus Chaos Renegades. The Norse teams are, there's no money, no inducement money. It's going to be 15K in petty cash going to the Norse team. There's nothing they can buy with that. The Norse team, of course, defined by having lots of block, lots of frenzy, and very, very brittle bows. They have low armor value, an armor value of just 8+. So they're very easy to remove, but have lots of block right out of the gate at low TV. They're going to be up against Chaos Renegade team. Chaos Renegade team, a difficult team to coach, I think. So Ajax has done a great job coaching the Fishy Fiends here in Division A. This is Odin Nuffle coming from Division C. It's the second place team. The Fishy Fiends coming from Division A. And so this will be the first time these two coaches are facing off in this competition. Chaos Renegades are defined by having 3 big guys. They can have 3 of 4 big guys on the roster. They have the Minotaur, the Ogre, and the Rat Ogre on this particular roster. That Rat Ogre is a very important piece to watch out for. That Rat Ogre can be made absolutely safe, meaning that you don't have to worry about the Negatrait preventing that Rat Ogre from activating. So long as you have a friendly piece beside the Rat Ogre, if they fail the die roll, they can beat up on the friendly piece and continue to activate. Emin Breyer says, don't forget they have piggies too. That's right, the Norse team does have the Beer Boars. The Beer Boars, very weak, very frail, but they do have, they're stunty and they're titchy, so their dodges are a 2+. They can get in position for assists. They can, they're very good for fouling because they're dirt cheap. They also have pick-me-up, which means at the end of your opponent's turn, anybody within any one of your friendly pieces that is prone within 3 spaces of a Beer Boar will roll a d6 on a 5+. They'll stand up for free. And they smell like breakfast. Here's the coin toss. Clear skies for this game. Fishy Fiends are going to win the coin toss. Oh no, not clear skies. Very sunny. So very sunny makes passing difficult. These aren't very particularly passy teams. With the well, you know what? I'm going to stand corrected. These Valkyries can really do it all. One of, if not the most important positional on this Norse team. These Valkyries, right? They have catch. They have pass. So they can both be runners. They're MA7. They can be passers and they can be catchers. So I think the sunny weather is really going to affect Odin and Nuffle more than it's going to affect this Chaos Renegades team. Chaos Renegades team, they don't have to worry about sun so much. They have to worry about each other. Their positionals tend to hate each other. So if they pick up the ball, they tend to have animosity toward each other. Yeah, Spire says, remember the game plan. Murder the elves. Clypheus, the Season 2 champion. No stranger to coaching different factions in this game. Now picking up a Norse team, I believe, for the first time. So you can see lots of block. In fact, I'm going to turn this off. There we go. Just show the skills that have leveled up here. So lots of block on this roster for the Norse team. They're giving up the 2 wide zones to the offense here. The offense, really, these 3 big guys are the stars of the show here. Lots and lots and lots of might on this team, right? You have these 3 big guys, all with a strength of 3, all with mighty blow. You have Frenzy on the Minotaur. You have the Red Ogre with Frenzy and block, leveled up to pick up block. I think block's a great skill to pick up on these big guys. Same with Festoon the Barnacled here, the number 2 Renegade Ogre. Big problem with these big guys, of course, being big guys, is they're all loners. So if you fail a die roll on these guys, oh, you're going to be in trouble. The rest of the team is comprised of just sort of a hodgepodge of players. They do have the number 7 Skaven player here, MA7, decent piece. Also the Dark Elf, of course, a great piece. Darth Pointy Pony. Leveled up Darth Pointy Pony to be a blodger. Electric Man says Minotaur Ball Carrier. Baby. I've seen crazier. We've seen the Rat Ogre score. Looks like he's picked up armbar on the Minotaur as well. So armbar, you can see here. Okay, we're gonna kick off first. The Yeti's kicking the ball. All right. Uh-oh. Got a 1 on the D3, so 4 unmarked players get to blitz. These Ulf Warners have Frenzy. They also have a strength of 4, but probably looking to blitz with a block piece. Emin Breyer says, I never thought to run a Rat Ogre and a Minotaur. I normally run Ogre Troll. Minotaur Troll to just guard the line. Minotaur to blitz and Ogre to throw the Goblin. I think that's completely reasonable. I'd do the same with the Chaos Renegades team. Spire says we saw a Crocs TD this season. We have indeed. We have indeed. Oh, and it's Nuffle. Spending their time here trying to figure out where they want to take their blitz. But anyhow, with armbar here, you get a +1 to the armor value or injury test. If an opponent tries to get away from you, right? So if they try to dodge, if they try to jump or leap away and fail, you apply an armbar to them. You get a +1 to the armor or the injury roll. 2-die blitz here in the left wide zone gets a push. Has to follow up due to frenzy. Lots of frenzy on this roster as well. So kind of a couple of I don't want to say problems, but a couple of things to keep in mind with the Norse team. Of course, the low armor value. AV 8+ makes them very, very brittle. 2, the fact that you have so much frenzy means it can be difficult to reposition pieces. We talked about this in the last matchup, right? With frenzy, that's great to get block dice and try to knock down pieces. And Norse teams want to do that. They want to take those marks, get their blocks, and knock... and knock down a bunch of pieces, but they don't want to have to take blocks coming back because they're so brittle. Turn 1 for the Fishy Fiends, and the ball's in the hands of the defense in turn 0. 2-die blitz on the Valkyrie is going to be a pal here. 8+ is going to break armor. The Valkyrie, the audacity to take this ball. Yeah, give that ball to Darth Pointy Pony. Get out of here. Who do you think you are, Frisia? Unbelievable. Fishy Fiends in possession of the ball now. Just like that, no problem. 2-die block on the line by Festoon the Barnacled. Gets a pow out of this. All these big guys have Mighty Blow. It's going to treat everybody's AV effectively as 1 less. You get a +1 to your armor roll. If you don't need it for the armor roll, you get a +1 to your injury roll. .34 seconds left on the clock here. If you're unfamiliar with, there's sort of hidden tables in the video game version of this. The video game version is the tabletop game. It's a 1-for-1 copy of the tabletop game, but it sort of obscures table lookups and things from you. So when you get when you go for an armor break, right after you knock a player down, you roll 2d6. You're trying to meet or exceed this AV number. So if I were to knock down this number 3 Ulfwerner here, A 2d6 on a 9+, I'd break their armor. After that, you're going to make what's called an injury roll. There's a table for this. You roll a 2d6 again, and you look up the results on the injury table. Foul by the number 16 goblin. This is what goblins love to do. They get nothing out of it. Just get the stun. They do not get called off the pitch. But on the injury table, the normal injury table, I should say, there are 3 results. On a 2 to 7, you stun the player. On a 8 or 9, you knock them out. And on a 10+, a 10 through 12, you actually earn a casualty. That's where you get the 2 SPP for casualty points. And then, if you roll it, well, like that. If you roll a 10+ on the injury table, you're going to roll one more time on the casualty table. That's a D16. That's where you may be injured, as we saw here with bad luck. On a 15+, you're actually killed. Fishy Fiends deciding whether they want to spend the apothecary on the human lineman. This is a tackle block player. They felt it was worth it. The apothecary keeps the player alive. So now that's a one-man player advantage. One-man player advantage now for Odin. It's Nuffle. In the first quarterfinal game we just saw complete, the NC Snakes defeated Conspicuous Disunion to advance to the semifinals. The winner of this game will face off against the NC Snakes in the semifinals. The top 2 teams from each open competition automatically earn a spot in the Invitational. That's the Blood Bowl. That's the championship competition at the end of the season. But they're not the only teams that qualify. Well, they may be the only teams that qualify. But depending on how the bracket shakes out, other teams may qualify for the Blood Bowl. Last season, we had 11 teams qualify for the Blood Bowl. $50 seconds left in turn 1 for Odin. It's Nuffle. Got very aggressive on the blitz result. Tried to recover this ball with no protection on the Valkyrie. Valkyrie stayed on the pitch. Ajax fouled that Valkyrie. I think that was a very wise decision. These Valkyries are so important to the roster. You'll see this against Valkyries on a Norse team, Witch Elves on a Dark Elf team. You'll see this against War Dancers on a Wood Elf team. These pieces are so important that if you can get the knockdown and you don't get the removal, it's often worth fouling just to try to get the removal, because it's such a huge loss to a team to lose one of these very versatile, often very expensive players. The rule of W? What is the rule of W? What would Wiley Woo? I don't know what that is. D9 block against the rookie lineman Killian the Grave. Gets a pal here. Chain blocks the ball carrier back a space. If it starts with a W, you foul it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I've never heard of that, but you know what? Yeah, I like that. Witch Elf, War Dancer, Valkyrie, Water Runners, right? Hammond Breyer says, I foul everything that breathes. That is a true Blood Bowl player. 2-9 blitz by Sheppy the Yeti. Gets a pal here against a kind sir. Breaks armor. Gets a stun out of it. Has to follow up. That Yeti does have Frenzy. Also has Claw. Treats everybody's armor as an 8+. So that was an 8+ to break the Minotaur's armor. The Minotaur has the weaker armor of these... well, I should say the weaker armor. Has the lowest armor of the big guys, along with the Rat Ogre with the 9+. You can see the human, not the human ogre, the standard regular, the ogre has a 10+. 2-9 block now by the Rat Ogre. Gets a knockdown due to the block skill. Gets a stun. Well done. Bad dog. I guess that's the 4. Get off the screen. Yes, the 4 W's of fouling. Werewolves, witch elves, war dancers, and whatever else is on the ground. That's a rule I can get behind. 1 minute to go here in turn 2 for the Fishy Fiends. So these big guys, if you can use them effectively, they can be terrifying. You have these big guys, when you have a strength of 5, you're often looking to get the 3-die block, right? You get the 3-die block with these big guys. These big guys have Frenzy. That can mean if you can set up your block so that you're effectively rolling 6 dice with block, with Mighty Blow, you're removing everyone. Like, these are just murder machines. But of course, the trick is to set up those 3-die blocks. Not, oh, spent a reroll into double skulls. No armor break, but that's going to be a turnover. Fishy Fiends down to 1, reroll for the half. Turn 2 now for Odin and Nuffle. Decided to reroll this into double skulls. Well, I guess I don't think he decided to roll into double skulls. Decided to re-roll this, period. The roll was double skulls. Hammond Breyer says, yeah, but I had a Minotaur killed by a 2-die uphill block or uphill Wraith Blitz, straight dead. Sometimes it happens. SVR says, Ava, where's the ball? Could you draw an arrow? Why, of course I could. Of course I could. Right here. Right here. Unchanneled Fury roll fails with the Yeti. The Yeti's going to hang tight. Now the rest is up to Nuffle. Ball's in the hands of the Dark Elf Darth Pointy Pony. He is a blodger, has an MA of 6, adds a 2+ being an elf, a dark elf. But here's that animosity trait that we were talking about. So this animosity trait says that if you're going to get rid of that ball via a handoff or a pass, you've got to roll a d6 first. And on a 1, you refuse to. You hate your teammates so much that you say, you know what? I'm not giving you the ball. These, whoa. Oh no, what happened to my camera? Every time my camera gets messed up. Ah! There we go. Animosity doesn't have to apply to all teammates. There are certain teams and certain players that have animosity towards specific teammates. Orc teams with their big end blockers are an example of that. I don't have an animal says never good to fail the racism test. Turn 3 to the Fishy Fiends. Stands up a kind of the Abyssal Bull. Needed a 50-50 on the Unchanneled Fury roll. Unchanneled Fury says that if he's not taking a block or a blitz, that Negatrait is a 4+ to take his action. Otherwise, it's a 2+. Festoon the Barnacled takes a block against Alt Clud. It's going to be a both standing result. Two-die block against Frisia, the number 5 Valkyrie. Gets a push into this into a frenzy 2-die follow-up. Got the pal. 7+ is going to break armor. There's the armor break. Got the KO. Well done. What do we have? Is that a 2-man player advantage? 1-man player advantage? What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It can't be 8. There's something I'm missing. Oh, wait. Somebody told me a trick. Somebody told me a trick. Somebody told me a trick. So there's 14 players on the roster. -4 is 10. That's just math. 10 for uh-oh. I did the math wrong. Oh, it highlights them. That's awesome. Oh, good job, Cyanide. That's great. That's great. All right, so 10v10. Two-die blitz at the ball carrier to get the knockdown here on the number 2 Ulfwerner. 9+. Ooh, big armor break here. Got a stun out of it. Doesn't have to worry about this player on the rear of the offensive formation, at least for a turn. Fishy Fiends back on the bonus clock here. Turn 3, they're down to 5 minutes, 38 seconds. Remember, this time does not come back in overtime. It doesn't come back at all. It's another foul here on the Ulfwerner. Gets a stun, does not get called off the pitch. The ref saw nothing. Come on, ref. The action's down here, buddy. This is a quarterfinal match. What are you doing up here? Who are you looking at? All right. All right. Turn 3 for Odin, it's Nuffle. They started on defense, and they've gotten very aggressive here. Taking a number of marks. Trying to stay ahead of this ball still. Gets a knockdown right in front of the ball carrier. Evan Breyer says, okay, I have a question, something I noticed, and I'm not sure if it was a bug or a real thing. In overtime, you get no rerolls. You don't get your rerolls back in overtime. That's not a bug. That's the actual rules. But if you have any rerolls left at the end of turn 16, those will carry over. You don't replenish them. Yeah, so if you think the game's going to overtime, it can get real dicey, no pun intended, but it can get real dicey there in turns 14, 15, 16, where you're like, oh, should I spend the reroll? I don't know. One die blitz on Darth Pony Pony. Needed a pal. Well, it didn't need a pal. Had the tackle player, but got the pal. Gets the knockdown. No armor break. Follows up on the block. The ball now on the ground on the 12-yard line. It's on the Fishy Fiends' own 12-yard line. Two-die block back at the line of scrimmage. Gets a push here. Sheppy the Yeti. Frenzy follow-up. Gets another push against Festoon the Barnacled. So another good use of Frenzy. Even if you don't get the knockdown, this is a great way to push players out of position, right? You get basically 2 blocks in a row and 2 pushes. Moves that player 2 spaces. It's a good way to open up holes. It's a good way to open up lanes. It's a good way to just keep a player out of a drive. SB Beaver says, the OT rules is a system designed specifically to hurt my playstyle. So are the reroll costs. The Beer Boar with the 2+ dodge always has a 2+ dodge. Repositions for the assist against Black Wolf of the Deep. The 1 die block here gets just a push out of this. Fend on all the Norse linemen means that if it is used, then the blocker is not allowed to follow up. Turn 4 for the Fishy Fiends. Electric Smith says that's why I opted not to be in the playoffs. Me too. Had I defeated had I defeated Chime in regulation, I would have made the cut. But Chime defeated me. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. Clypheus is a control coach, and I associate Clypheus with Imperial Nobility with Brett. You're absolutely right. Had I defeated many coaches, I would have. Had I been in the top 2, I definitely would have been there. But I elected not to be. Welcome to the stream, Tig. Tig asks, how do you feel about the Shambling Undead faction? I think Undead is fantastic. I think it's one of the better factions in the game. Right out of the box, they're great. You have a lot of speed in the Ghoul Runners. You have the Mummies, which are arguably the best big guys in the game. Strength 5, no nega traits. You get 2 Mummies, you get guard on them. Now you're getting 3 die blocks with Mighty Blow. Yeah, they're really good. And your linemen, right? You might look at the linemen and say, oh, they're nothing to sneeze at. But they're very inexpensive at 40K. They're decent for what they are. They're just slow. So, oh no. Good hunting on the Valkyrie. Both Valkyries now removed from the pitch. The Oppo's going to be spent here. The Valkyrie saved for another drive. But the zombies for 40K, super great. They're just slow, but that's okay. They're there to take hits. And because they're a regen team, you get free zombies every now and again. To guess, they sound dope. How are they comparable to the Necromantic Horror team? So Necro's different. Necro moveset Oppo worked there. That was big. Yeah, Yappo worked, saved the Valkyrie. So the Valkyrie still comes off the pitch, but will be alive for another drive. Necro plays differently. So Necro has their blitzers are the wraiths. They have no hands, but they're interesting pieces. They have block and sidestep. They have disturbing presence, which can be really, really annoying. Sometimes your opponent's not allowed to block them. They have to roll a d6 first. On a 1, they can't block them. And if that's your blitz, you've lost your blitz for the whole turn. The big issue is that their only real ball carriers are the werewolves and the ghouls. You tend to want, well, there's lots and lots of strategies and tactics. In my opinion, you tend to want it to be the ghoul runners so that the werewolves can get to the business of murdering pieces, right? Your werewolves have frenzy. They're very, very fast. They can get anywhere. They can cover the sidelines. They have claws, so everybody has an AV of 8+, which is phenomenal. But if you need the ball in the hands of a very fast piece, a werewolf can absolutely be a ball carrier as well. So at low TV, I think Necro has to be very mindful that they don't have a whole lot of ball carriers. It's really just the word, not the word answers, the werewolves and the ghoul runner or ghoul runners. But Necro is a fine team as well. I think Undead is better competitively, but Necro is certainly not bad. Electric Man says skellies are faster than zombies. That's true. That's true. Undead has access to the skeletons as well. I hate them. I never ever field a skeleton, but some people do, right? They are faster. They have thick skull. You lose a point of armor value for a point of movement. They go from movement 4 to a 5. You get thick skull as well. The mummy nega trade is an MA3. You know what? Fair point. Move says, Necro really do struggle at lower TV. They don't start with much due to their positional costs. Undead are great right out of the box at 1 million TV. Necro get really, really good once they level up some. Yep, I agree. And to that end as well, I would argue, I don't think this is contentious, but I would argue that there are certain teams that do better in certain TV zones. So when you talk about league play, the team values tend to increase over time. Certain teams do better at low TV, certain teams do better at higher TVs. Some teams do better at all TV values. I think human is a good example. I love humans. Oh, got another removal here. Turn 5 now for the Fishy Fiends. Second quarter begin. So the ball in the hands of Black Wolf the Deep. This is the level 3 Renegade Human lineman. Has the ball on his own 12-yard line. But a human team, humans I think are very, very good at low TV, and they kind of get worse. They don't get worse at high TV. It's just, in my opinion, the specialist team. So humans are generalists. They can do everything. They just don't excel at anything. But that's kind of their advantage, right? They always have some sort of counterplay option no matter who they're facing off against. But as team value increases, the specialist teams out-specialize the generalist nature of humans, in my opinion. So humans tend to fall off as TV increases, as the specialist teams lean into their specialties. Tick says, I appreciate it. I'm picking up the game tomorrow, and I didn't know which faction to pick up, but I think it'll be between those two. Yeah. I mean, all teams are fun in some way. I think most teams are viable. Not necessarily, that doesn't mean they're all in the same kind of tier, but I think most teams are viable. There's a handful of teams that I would say are not viable. Like Ogre is one. I don't want that to dissuade you from, if you want to be an Ogre coach, by all means be an Ogre coach, but Ogres are very, very difficult to... Oh, are you... The Rat Ogre beating up on a beer board. That is a foul. That's a foul. I'm the commissioner, and I want you off this pitch. Unbelievable. But yeah, like, Ogre teams are a lot of fun, but they're very unreliable. So they're so unreliable that it can be kind of difficult to coach them. But I would say the vast majority of teams are viable in some way. Ball advances up to the line of scrimmage, just off the left sideline. Sideline. Fishy Fiends have the ball on their own 2-yard line. Moob says, I hate halflings with a passion. They're the most annoying team to play against. Well, to be more accurate, I hate halfling Master Chef. Yeah, so halflings get the Master Chef for a third of the cost. And the Master Chef steals rerolls from your opponent at the beginning of every half. One die block on the Wolf Warner is going to be a skull. That'll be a turnover. Smasher225, welcome to the stream. Smasher says, I want to try Vamps for my first in real life league, I think. I would love to see the new Vamps. I have yet to see the new Vamps play. But Vamps are a really cool team. Mr. Rocker Cracker said, last time a Rat Ogre came after one of my beer boys, I fouled the Rat Ogre to death with my other beer boy. Nobody messes with Skittles and Kit Kat. You are a coach of the people. Boot Polish says, only an elf would say they hate halflings. Everyone else hates Blade versus elves. 2-die block against the number 16 Goblin here. Murghul the Mad breaks. Whoa! Didn't just break armor. Knocked him into orbit. He gets a stun. Smasher said, played Norse last season and hated it, and Nurgle lost all dopamine. Yeah, I feel you. Norse is tricky. I think Norse is tricky to coach. 2-9 block against a kind sir. The Abyssal Bull gets no armor break. Has to follow up again due to Frenzy. Papacito Burrito, welcome to the stream. Papacito Burrito asks, how's the goblins? So I think goblins are certainly viable. I think they're better than people realize on paper. I think people see goblins, they say stunty team. Oh, stunty sucks. I don't think they suck. Goblins, I think, are awesome because they have a bunch of like not dirty players, and they have a bunch of like illegal stuff, right? So they have a loony, a chainsaw piece, right? That gives you a +3 to your armor break straight up, and you don't have to roll block dice for it. They have the fanatic with the ball and chain, strength 7. You're just swinging that thing around the pitch, right? You've got the pogoers, you've got cheap bribes, so you're fouling all the time. I think they're good, and they're inexpensive, so you're getting a lot of inducement money. So you get secret weapon, or not secret weapons. You get star players on top of that. Thank you very, very much for the sub, Papacito Burrito. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your generosity. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, secret weapons! Yeah, yeah. So the goblins have lots of like dirty tricks up their sleeve. They have the hooligan, who's a default fouler, which is great because often teams are looking to skill up somebody into the fouler role. Two-die uphill on Sargason the Foul. It stays alive here, so it gets a push out of it. Turn 6 for the Fishy Fiends. Odin, it's Nuffle down to 3 minutes, 26 seconds on the bonus clock. That is for the entire duration of the game. Remember, if this game goes to overtime, that clock will not replenish. Stands up with the Ogre. The Ogre boneheaded. That's the nega trade. Has to roll a d6 before activating. On a 1, he stares off into space, loses his tackle zones, loses his activation. Tried to stand up the Minotaur. The Minotaur with that unchanneled Fury roll. If it's a block or a blitz, he needs to succeed that roll on a 2+. Otherwise, it's a 4+. That was a 4+ for the stand-up attempt. So this, of course, the downside with the big guys. This, as well as them being loners, so you really don't want to have to spend a team reroll on a big guy. But if you can get them working, boy, do they work. Papacito Burrito says, yeah, I'm trying to learn goblins in the ladder comp, and it's not a good time. But overall, so far, seems like a fun team to play. I will say I think they're a challenging team to play, for sure. Definitely a challenging team. Two-die blitz by Sargason the Foul. Gets a both standing result out of this. Bad Dog says, I run 4 NAF 20s a year. Atomic City, Fallout Bowl, Thunder Ridge, Colossal Conundrum. It is a Rumble. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It is a Rumble in the Jungle, and Grifts of Nuffle Holiday Extravaganza. That's cool. So the ball on the ground on the opposing 2-yard line right now. Turn 6 for Odin. It's Nuffle. Mr. Rocker Cracker says, I gotta put my numbers up. I only run 2 rookie numbers. Odin Stuffle still has all 3 of their rerolls left. They started on defense and they've been very effective so far. Yeah, so once you start to get into like mid TV with goblins, then I think they really start to shine, because now you're picking up star players on top of all the other shenanigans they have. under a minute to play for Odin and Snuffle. Trying to figure out how they might be able to get onto this ball, how they might be able to stop the ball. Clive is traditionally a control coach, and seemingly likes to plan out the whole move first and then execute on it in the later half of the turn. Good 2+ dodge here by the Beer Boar to get the assist. 2-die block against double time Skitterwake. Gets the knockdown, looking for an 8+. Got the 8+. Gets a stun. This is a very good stun as we're late in the half. So now this fast piece, this Skaven player, MA7, will be out for a turn. Next turn, they're going to lose 3 MA. So they'll only have 4 effective MA. Well, they'll have 4 MA. 6 effective MA because they can rush twice. And now 2-die blitz onto the ball. Boy, get out of here. Get out of town with this. What a blitz. Blitz is onto the ball here. Or gets a chain block onto the ball. Knocks this ball in toward the pitch rather than off the pitch. And now the ball's still on the 2-yard line. 2 spaces over to the right side of the Rat Ogre. Odin and Snuffle back on the bonus clock. Just 2 minutes, 46 seconds left. Turn 7 now for the Fishy Fiends. I have a ton of respect for people that run and TO tournaments. It's a thankless job. I spent, half my life more playing fighting games competitively. So I've never been a TO. Well, not a real TO anyway, but never been a TO. But I've seen the effort that goes into it. I used to play X-Wing competitively as well, so I've seen it on the tabletop side as well. So I have a lot of respect for the people that run tournaments, keep them running, deal with, player nonsense. Dude, I stand up blitz here. Oh, I'm sorry, 3-die stand up blitz on the Beer Boar. Beer Boar is strength of 1. Almost every block against the Beer Boar is going to be a 3-die block, but only gets a push out of this because the Beer Boar is a hero. Beer Boar gets pushed onto the ball, pushes this ball back out of the scrum and into the space the Beer Boar just vacated. Now the ball on the opposing 2-yard line. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, I was a big X-Wing player and RTO was a hero. Yeah, I loved X-Wing. X-Wing was awesome. Oh, thanks a lot, Moob. I appreciate it. And thanks for playing. I appreciate, everyone who participates, who watches, or, just every enjoyer of Blood Bowl. I genuinely appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, we're all here to just, love Blood Bowl and play it or watch it or, just enjoy the game. And it's a great game. And Trip Tango says, what a tough situation for the Fiends. Not anymore. SP Beaver says, is anyone in scoring position? No. Not yet, anyway. 3-die block on the Beer Board. Got the PAL this time. Needs just a 6... Actually, a 5+ with Mighty Blow. Come on, little Beer Board. Hey! The Beer Board stays alive! Fishy Fiends with the ball pickup. Hands off to the Goblin. We'll spend a reroll here. Final reroll spent. Has the ball in the hands of the Goblin. So it's going to come down to a Goblin toss on turn 8. On turn 7. Let's go. just slammed him into the ground. Good effort. The ogre picked him up, turned around, and said, "Get off of me." So the Odin and Nuffle doing a very good job here on defense. He's been able to keep the team fairly alive here. Has lost a number of players. Has lost the 2 Valkyries. But potentially both will come back onto the pitch for this next drive. Under a minute to play here for Odin and Nuffle. They could score here. Currently 1 space out of scoring position, and they are marked. Number 8, Lipen, currently marked by the Minotaur. Good old midfield spike, yep. Beat out 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the stream. So the only way that Odin and Nuffle scores here is with number... Well, that's not true. Beerbor moves forward for the assist by the number 2 Ulfwerner. Iona gets a push here into the Frenzy follow-up. 2-die Frenzy follow-up into a knockdown, looking for the 9+. Odin and Nuffle on the bonus clock once again, down to 2 minutes 30 seconds. Here's the ball pickup. 3+ ball pickup. Fails the roll. Spends the reroll here for sure. There it is. Now to the handoff. Fails the 50-50 handoff. This will make it a 75%, but failed the catch. Failed the catch, and that will be a turnover. Turn 8 for the Fishy Fiends. Odin and Nuffle will not get on the board here. Fishy Fiends, yeah, SP Beaver says both teams have been burning the clock. Yeah, Fishy Fiends down to 3 minutes, 1 second. No rerolls remaining here. They were on offense. They will not score either. So now it's about getting some SPP, maybe getting some removals that will stick for the second half. Rerolls will be replenished at the start of the second half. The bonus clock will not be. I'm so happy that the bracketing code works. I tested it before, so I wrote it all before the season started. I tested it locally, but there's always a difference between your testing and it going live. So I'm very glad it worked. There is a bug though, I noticed in the standings, but I'll fix that later. The bug only creeps up when there's a bracketing competition going on, which is odd because there's no concept of a bracketing competition. But anyway, I'll sort that out. Oh, sorry, little beer boar. The beer boar out of the game, injured by the evil Darth Pointy Pony. No scruples. I asked him if he had any scruples, and he said, "What are scruples?" Just like a dark elf to remove an innocent beer boar from the pitch. Gets the knockdown on the number 8 lineman. Gets a stun out of this as well. Breakfast is served. Shadowing in effect here. Didn't get the 6+. tried to use it. Why not? That frees up the number 16 Goblin for the assist. 2-die block on the number 2 Wolf Warrior now. Gets a push out of this. Meat's back on the menu. Final third of the first quarter coming up. Odin and Nuffle not gonna be able to get on the board here on defense, but whenever you stop the offensive scoring, you've done your jobs. Clapius probably very happy here with the result despite not being able to score. Frenzy follow-up against Darth Pointy Pony. Looking for a pal here, didn't get it. I'm thinking about making tacos tomorrow, provided the cilantro in my refrigerator is still good. I don't know if it is. Would be a shame if somebody stepped on the Rat Ogre's head. 2-die blitz against Darth Pointy Pony. Really trying to take out this ball carrier and just couldn't do it. This is the power of Blodge. You get the block skill, you get the dodge skill. There's only one face on the D6 that will knock down that player, barring other skills like tackle. SB Beaver says, you think the Halfling Master Chef roasts the poor? They're playing the Norse team. As a Hobgoblin player, anything that moves is food. 23 seconds left on the clock here for Odin and Nuffle. Oh, I don't think they want to dip in the bonus block here. I don't think it's worth it. 2-die block. Finally gets the pal on Darth Pointy Pony, looking for a 9+. Got the 9+. Whoa! Whoa! Finally works out and removes that pest from the pitch. And that'll be the half. What a way to end the half. 0-0 the score. Darth Pointy Pony finally removed after 3 blocks. Ten to set up for the defense. The Fishy Fiends. Uh-oh. Fishy Fiends on defense to start the second half of this game. It's a 0-0 ball game. For the pig! That was for... Who was that for? For various towns in northwest England! Fishy Fiends setting up what looks to be an anchor formation here. They've got the Orc on the line, Nutters the Brind, the nose tackle, flanked by 2 human linemen, giving up the wide zones, keeping those big guys as linebackers wants to keep them mobile and not get them tied down on the line, where the offense can just keep them locked down and then just move away from them. Currently 5 on the line now for Odin and Nuffle. They'll be on offense to start the second half of this game. They're back up to 3 rerolls. They crucially did not get back their second Valkyrie. So they just have Francia on the roster. Who brought the applesauce? Beer Bork goes well with applesauce. He's not dead. He's right here. He's just injured. So a one-man player advantage for the Norse team going into the second half. When a Norse team can start with a player advantage, they'll take it. They'll take it. Again, Norse pretty tricky. They want to take blocks. They want to be a bashy team, but they don't want to put themselves in a position where they're taking blocks back because they have such low armor value. Dad'll have to take him out back where the applesauce is. Five on the line, 2 in either wide zone. The one remaining Valkyrie back to receive. Here's the kick. Middling kick. Rolls a 2 on the D3. 5 open players can move 1 space. Of course, the ball carrier is going to move back toward the ball. Might get lucky and catch this ball on the bounce. And looks to be moving the 2 or the 4 ends in either wide zone up to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where the ball bounces here. Right behind Francia the Valkyrie. Turn 9 now for Odin. It's Nuffle. 2-die block to get the half started. Gets a knockdown on Killian the Grave. Breaks armor. Got the KO. 2-man player advantage for Odin. It's Nuffle. 2-die block on the left defensive end. Gets a push out of this. Two-die frenzy blitz here on Oliver. Fatal medley gets a push into a 2-die frenzy follow-up. Gets the POW here, looking for a 9+. No armor break, but again has to follow up due to frenzy. One keeps a little better without refrigeration. I love carrots, and when I was a kid, I would eat them all the time, but when I would eat them raw, my throat would get like a little tickly, a little scratchy, and we never thought anything of it. Fast forward to when I'm like 20, and I was eating carrots, and my face just swells like balloons. And so me being an idiot, after I eat them and my swelling goes down like hours later, days later? Maybe even days later. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've eaten raw carrots. But I'm like, oh, there must have been something on it, a chemical. So I bought different carrots and ate those, and my face swelled up. I'm allergic to carrots. Isn't that stupid? I can eat them cooked, but I can't eat them raw. And I love carrots. It's so annoying. Boopal says MAML should put out a cookbook. I love to cook. I love to cook. Maybe they just had the same chemical. It was called carrot. I love to eat too. I absolutely love to eat. Love to cook, love to eat. Fishy Fiends for their first turn of the half. Offensive line has pushed forward here, has blocked out Nutters the Brine. Oh wow, Nutters the Brine picked up foul appearance. Very interesting pickup here on the level 1 pickup. So again, foul appearance. We saw that in the first game of this doubleheader this evening. Foul appearance means if your opponent wants to block you, they have to roll a d6 first. On a 1, they can't, even if that's a blitz, and the blitz gets declared first. So very interesting pickup here. Puts the orc on the line there because you want to block down this line. 2-die blitz by Sargus the Foul. Gets the knockdown here. No armor break. Yeah, SP Beaver. You can't. It's a mutation. You have to have access to mutations, of course. Fishy Fiends back on the bonus clock. Just 2 minutes, 48 seconds remaining. 2-die block against St. Philibert. The number 11 rookie lineman gets a push out of this. Nutters the Brine's going to stay put. And was able to reposition the Minotaur. Remember, every time that Minotaur is not blocking or blitzing, that's a 50-50 roll. So if this Minotaur gets knocked out of a drive, it can be almost impossible to get the Minotaur back in the drive because it finds itself left behind, meaning the only way it repositions is on running, unless you just declare your blitz with the Minotaur and not blitz, then the Minotaur often just fail 50% of the time, right? Fails the die roll and stays put. Turn 10 now for Odin. It's Nuffle. 2-die block, wasting no time here in turn 10. Gets the knockdown on the Goblin, no armor break. Now a 2-die, oh, double skulls against Oliver. Fatal Medley, spends a reroll, breaks armor, gets a stun. Odin Snuffle down to 2 rerolls. That's true. He doesn't lose his tackle zones if you fail the roll. It's very true. Unlike regulation, this is something I really like about League play, is not just the fact that you see wide variations in team value, but I guess strategies? I would call it like operational decision making, but strategic decision making can change here. Failed that foul appearance roll on the blitz. Oh, and that is the problem. That is the problem with trying to blitz somebody with foul appearance. You fail the roll, you lose your blitz for the turn. But the decision-making changes whether we're talking regulation or postseason, right? So post-competition, right? Maybe in regulation where there's draws and you're trying to vie for a spot, your gameplay changes. You're like, you know what? I'm okay with a draw. So I'm going to play differently. Whereas now, when you make the cut, a draw ends your competition. So you're not okay with a draw. SPB were asking you re-roll that. Re-roll foul appearance. Two-die block on the Rat Ogre. Got the knockdown here. Good job getting 2 dice on this Rat Ogre. Does he have anybody left to foul the Rat Ogre? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't get the armor break either. Good 3+ pickup by Francia. Has possession of the ball here with nobody to... Whoa! With nobody to defend the ball carrier, but moves the ball all the way up to the 4-yard line. Turn 10 now for the Fishy Fiends. So the offense right now, a little thin. They're still holding down the fort. Gets a stun in the left wide zone. Poop says that fend is actually really nice for this Ogre block. It is indeed. Ogre was not allowed to follow up and mark the number 8 lineman. SB Beaver says, yeah, I was curious why I didn't re-roll the foul appearance roll. Yeah, you can re-roll that. I don't know why I didn't re-roll it. I didn't think it was worth it. Yeah, so, right. So, speaking of that strategic decision-making, we touched on it a little bit either in the first half of this game or in the first game this evening. But, right, as the clock starts winding down and overtime starts to become more and more of a reality, you start to think, oh, do I really want to spend that reroll here? Am I really getting anything out of this? Or do I need to save it? Ooh, tried to blitz the ball carrier, failed the dodge, spent the team reroll, rolled snake eyes on the 3+ dodge. Null turn 11 now for Odin. It's Nuffle. Saved by the dice. Two-die block against the number 16 Goblin. Goblins with just an AV of 8+. Got the PAL here. No armor break. Another thing to keep in mind with Norse linemen is they're all drunkards. So they never, ever, ever, ever want to rush if they can at all help it. Their rushes fail on a 1 or a 2, not just a 1. Two very tight matches here in the quarterfinals. What else should I have expected with the top 8 teams here in the first competition of the season? If you're unfamiliar with our season structure, we have 3 open competitions a season, followed by an invitational at the end of the season. Anyone is allowed to participate in any or all of the 3 opens. You don't have to start with this competition. You can jump in on the next competition or even the competition after that. And our rules are set up in such a way that got the knockdown here on Festoon the Barnacle, but no armor break. They're set up in such a way that even if you miss a competition, or even if you miss 2 competitions, you still stand a decent shot of making the championship. There's a link to our Discord channel. If you want to play in our upcoming Spike Magazine trophy, just head on over to our Discord channel, tag me, I'm Ava Unit 2, tag me in the Blood Bowl channel and say, hey, I want to sign up for the next competition. What do? I'll put you on the list, and then when registration opens, I'll send you a DM with all the information. It's very simple. You just create a team, and then you tag me with your team name, your coach name, and the faction of your team, and then we take it from there. All right, the ball now on the opposing 12-yard line, just outside the left wide zone. Turn 11 for the Fishy Fiends. The ball is in scoring position right now. The offensive tackle zones. Here's the protection. Failed the 50-50 roll with the Rat Ogre. Just needed to get up to punch somebody, then knock back down. Looks like lightning, which causes death. All right. So I got the knockdown. Failed the animal savagery roll. Knocked down Nutters the Brine and repositioned to take a mark on Sheppy, the #1 Yeti. Always a tough spot to be in as a Chaos Renegades coach. You want these big guys to be taking those blocks. You tend to not want them so split up. It's difficult to do, right? Especially when you're talking about top 8 play. You know, you're up against, all of your opponents are great coaches by this point in the competition. Again, Clypheus, former league champion. And so your opponent tends to know what your strategy wants to be. And they're going to play in such a manner to break up your strategy, to put you in a spot where now you have to take risks or maybe do something you don't want to do, or do something, that's maybe kind of crazy just to make sure, right? Because maybe you did something that was a mistake, and now you have to do something really, your opponent capitalize on that, and you have to make a big risky play, or else your whole formation collapses or your offense collapses. Failed the rush here, spends the final reroll on the 1 die block on the #4 Valkyrie. Gets a push out of this. Fails the Unchanneled Fury roll over on the right side there. That one was a block, so that was a 2+, but rolled a 1. 50-50 dodge by the Skaven player. Gets away to safety currently. We'll see if shadowing takes effect. Nope. Woo! Keeps alive. Em and Breyer demanding death. Oh, wow, the ad wasn't even that long of the whole pitch change. Yeah. Turn 12 for Odin and Snuffle. They can score here on turn 12 if they want to, but I don't think they want to. Well, maybe they do want to. We'll see what Clypheus decides here. So he's got an opposing piece here, an opposing piece here, and currently marked by a piece here. Now, he can clear this player, right? He can clear this player, but then he needs to keep the ball carrier safe from at least these 2 guys, probably all 3 of these guys. 2-die block to clear the ball carrier. This will work out. Doesn't get the surf. Spends the reroll for the surf. Gets the surf here. I don't know if I would have re-rolled that. That's. I mean, I'm also not in the top 8, but scary. So spent the reroll there, down to 1 reroll for the game. Did get the removal. Got a KO. We'll see if that sticks. Again, every player that's KO will roll a d6 at the beginning of any drive. On a 4+, they're no longer KO'd. Electric Man says it was for the surf. Yeah, I recognize that, but what does the surf give you? I guess it takes a player off the pitch that's threatening the ball carrier. Might park this ball on the 16. Odin and Nuffle back on the bonus clock. 1:40 left. No, parks the ball on the 22. Fails the unchanneled Fury roll yet again here. Sheppy's going to stay in place. 1-die block on the Renegade Ogre over in the left wide zone. Gets the knockdown here. This is going to free up Rathun. The level 3 lineman has tackle and shadowing. Almost certainly random into one of those. Oh, boy. So took the rush to get the mark on number 11. Remember, those rushes fail on a 1 or a 2. Positioned the player here, protected here, but there's a problem. And the problem is this. My ball is here, and there's a player here, and I put a player, say, here. Well, now there's nowhere to go but off the pitch. So the final rerolls spent on the Drunken Rush that worked out. No more rerolls left for the game. It's the final turn of the third quarter. The Fishy Fiends trying to recover this ball. If not recover the ball, perhaps force the score so they have enough time to get on the board themselves. Moop said the rush was needed. Goblin could have gotten in front of the Valkyrie and then Sure Hands blitz surf Valkyrie without that rush. SP Beaver says, can he get that position to surf? Depends on the Skaven here. I mean, he could. I don't think he likes it, but he could. Yeah, the problem is, as Moob mentioned, the problem is this guy. Like, these tackle zones here are a problem. They're a problem for this guy, and they're a problem for this guy. Two-die block by the Renegade Skaven player. And he'll get a pal here against the number 12 lineman. I think Ajax resigned to the blocks here, but still needs to apply some pressure. Fishy Fiends back on the bonus clock. They have a little over 1 minute remaining. Failed the 4+ dodge. Had to do something. Failed the dodge. That's going to be a turnover. The fourth quarter is going to begin here. Turn 13. Odin and Nuffle has the ball on the 22-yard line on the left sideline. So Odin and Nuffle now in pretty good shape to start stalling this clock. A number of players are free to set up some tackle zones between the ball carrier and the opposing team. Odin's Nuffle setting up a tight cage around the ball carrier. Moop says, what's amusing now is the Goblin is the scariest player on the Renegades for the Norse. 2-die block against said Goblin's going to be a push. No rerolls left. Emin Breyer asks, I was just about to ask what the rule is for stalling. Stalling's totally legal. And in fact, in the BB 2020 rules, there is a prayer to Nuffle that actually penalizes stalling. There's a particular prayer that if you stall, you'll have to roll a d6. I think it's on a 5+, you get knocked down. And stalling in the rulebook is defined as basically if you have the ball and you can score without rolling dice and you choose not to, that's stalling. Boy, the Rat Ogre just started to really hate his teammates. It takes a 1-die or 2-die block against number 12. Gets the knockdown, but no armor break. Moop says Goblin is the key to a throw teammate counter score, assuming nothing crazy happens to stop the TD. Stands up the Ogre on the blitz. Ogre had to stand up there. If he didn't, I imagine the Ogre would be the target of a foul by Odin Nuffle, but the Ogre's going to reposition, takes a mark on number 12. And the reason the Ogre would have been a foul here is this is the guy with the not the right stuff, with throw teammate. So now the Fishy Fiends trying to force this score. Finally, a kind sir, the Abyssal Bull, takes a block, only gets a push out of this. Fails the shadowing roll here. The number 16 Goblin successfully dodges away. 20 seconds to decide where this Goblin's going to end up. Just behind the cage. I think that's a fair decision there by Ajax. Turn 14 now for Odin. It's Nuffle. Minute 30 on the clock with 104 with 64 seconds left on the bonus clock for Odin and Nuffle. Neither team with rerolls remaining. They're going to try to hold out for one more turn, it looks like. Got the knockdown on the Goblin, but the Goblin still staying alive. Good repositioning by the Yeti there. 50-50 on the repositioning. Unchanneled Fury. It's the same Negatrait that the Minotaur has. So if you're not blocking or blitzing, it's a 4+ rather than a 2+. Shifts the ball one space to the left, still hanging just outside the end zone on the opposing 24-yard line, just staying right off the left sideline. Trying to maximize tackle zones and dodges to get at this ball carrier. And that'll be the turn. Turn 14 now for the Fishy Fiends. Fails the boneheaded roll with the Ogre, so the Ogre loses his action, loses his tackle zones. 2-die block by the Rat Ogre is going to be a push. Frenzy follow-up here. 2-die frenzy follow-up. Gets a POW out of this, looking for a 7+. Doesn't get it. Will the Fishy Fiends continue to apply pressure on this cage? Or are they going to try to keep everyone safe and just put their faith in Nuffle for the one-turn touchdown? With no rerolls left, that is not looking likely, but not a whole lot of time left on the clock either, so I'm not sure if trying to force the score on turn 15 is even worth it. Take a mark on the rookie lineman who's covering the right side of the cage, of the pocket, really. Takes a mark on the number 3 lineman who's behind the ball carrier. Fails to dodge with the skating player, and he gets stunned. That's going to be a turnover. Turn 15 now for Odin. It's Nuffle. With no rerolls left, are they going to score, or are they going to hold out until turn 16? Go, go, Goblin Ranger. Two-die block. Gets a knockdown here. Two-die blitz. Gets the knockdown here. Oh, it's like the push for the surf, I think. Yeah. No, just takes the knockdown. Fair enough. Didn't want his own player to be surfed on the follow-up turn. Hoops says foul the Goblin. I would honestly, absolutely, 100% foul that Goblin. And I'd do it with, like, the Yeti. Yeah. Oh, and Nuffle's going to hold out for one more turn here. Two-die block against Nutters the Brine. Got through the foul up here. You know what, Nutters? You're not all that foul to me. You look fine, buddy. You look great. Don't let your own traits tell you otherwise. Turn 15 for the Fishy Fiends. Oh, Skaven failed to dodge so hard he's out of his own space. Festoon Barnacle, he's had enough. He's out of this game. He's like, forget it. I'm done. So 2 of the 3 big guys failing to activate. The Rat Ogre could activate it if he wants to beat up on his own ogre. I don't think he wants to. Good 3+ dodge by the, not the ghoul, the Goblin. Woo, man! What a series of dodges to mark the ball carrier. Nuffle, grant me the dice. Turn 16 for Odin. It's Nuffle. They'll almost certainly blitz away the Goblin. Do there's somebody with block? They don't. They don't. So 3-die block on the Goblin. 3-die blitz on the Goblin. Wow! Oh, he does have block. Cool. Got the knockdown. Frees up the ball carrier. He'll walk the ball in. It's going to be 1-0. Oh, and Nuffle takes the lead late in the game. Very well done. Terrorwind to you. Welcome to the stream. 1 turn left in the ball game, unless, of course, there's a timeout. Odin and Nuffle is going to screen out the end zone. They'll probably put some players a little bit forward here to defend against the throw teammate. Goblin's still around, right? Goblin's still around. Ogre's still around. Yeah, so it can absolutely happen. No rerolls left, though, for this Chaos Renegade team. to be 11v8. Yeah, 11v8. 3-man player advantage. It's not going to matter too much here. Unless, of course, there's a timeout. Has Ajax prayed to Nuffle? That is the one part of strategy we have not discussed. Has Ajax sufficiently prayed to Nuffle to make this happen, to get on the board, and to send this game to overtime? We'll see. The Ogre not going to tangle with anybody on the line. SB Beaver praying to Nuffle. No rerolls left. No kicker for Odin. It's Nuffle either. So the Fishy Fiends need to get this ball into the hands of the Goblin with, at most, a handoff. They can't do the pass because the pass is the throw teammate pass. So the Ogre going on the line at center pitch here. The Ogre can't activate for a block because the Ogre has to throw the Goblin. Naturally, Black Wolf of the Deep back to receive. Has sure hands on this number 11 lineman. So gets a free reroll on the ball pickup. The move says, you know what's going to happen. He's going to succeed. Pick up on the handoff to the Goblin, and the Ogre will bonehead the throw. So a lot has to go right here. Has to pick up the ball, get the ball to the Goblin via handoff, maybe even some rushes. The Ogre has to throw the Goblin, and when the Goblin gets tossed, he scatters 3 spaces. He's got to scatter down pitch. The Ogre, a throw teammate, you can only throw up to a short pass away. Orthogonally, that's 6 spaces forward. Hope that Goblin scatters down pitch to have enough movement to get into the end zone. The Goblin with a MA 6+2 means needs to be within 8 spaces of the end zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it needs to be right here on the 10-yard line at best, or at worst. Warmaster says the momentum of the game changed after the pig was injured. It did. Here's the kick. It's a timeout. We have 2 turns left in the ball game. SB Beaver with the emergency rush warning, but what a deep kick here by Odin. It's Nuffle. That would have been an absolutely fantastic kick had it not been a timeout. 2-die blitz by Sargus in the foul. Gets a POW out of this. Looking for a 7+. Doesn't get it. Move said needed a timeout with that kick. Absolutely. Absolutely. Has to pick up the ball in this turn too, and what a precarious spot. Does have the free reroll with sure hands, but if that ball goes out of bounds, ooh, it could potentially go into a very bad spot. Ah! You can't ask for more here in turn 15 than a murder. A Minotaur murder. Mr. Rocker Crocker demanded death and got it. Ninja Gloppy, welcome to the stream. You know what's precarious? How awesome you are. I don't think that's a good thing. Welcome to the stream, Ninja Gloppy. Moving players down pitch. So moves the Ogre down pitch. Needs this to work out. 3+ on the pickup. Got the pickup. No more movement left with the human lineman. Oh, boy. Three seconds left on the clock here in this quarterfinal matchup. There's 32 seconds left in the bonus clock. Ajax is not going to dip into bonus time. Final turn of the half for Odin. It's Nuffle. Can they stop the score? If so, they'll advance to the semifinals. So advances the Ogre up the left wide zone here. Now has a pocket set up here, 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 and here. That means the Skaven player, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, rush, is the player he's looking to score with. Move says, what's the PA on the lineman? 4+? Yeah, 4+. A mark taken on Oliver Fatal Medley, the rookie lineman protecting the Skaven player. Here's the blitz. Gets the knockdown. Will follow up and takes a mark on the number 7 Skaven double time skitterwake. .43 seconds left in the clock. Odin and Nuffle in the lead, 1-0. Sends Alt Kled down pitch to shake his fist menacingly at number 11. What he's actually doing here is he's setting up an interception attempt, and that just makes the pass even more risky. But I think he can avoid it. I think he can avoid it here. So this ruler. So there's an actual ruler in the board game, and the ruler is 2 spaces wide, but you measure it kind of like this, orthogonally, right? So it's if I'm in this space here or this space here, it's the space in front of me and then half of the spaces on either side of me, and so it's a physical ruler. And if any opposing player gets under that ruler, then they can attempt an interception, or it's now called a pass interference attempt. Turn 16 for the Fishy Fiends, 32 seconds on the clock. Can they get into the end zone and score? If so, we're going to overtime. If not, this is the end of their Chaos Cup. Two-die blitz by the Rat Ogre. Oh, so scary. Gets the knockdown, though. Gets the knockdown. Breaks armor. Gets no SPP out of this. No removal. These removals matter, too. If you can score, these removals might stick for overtime. Fails the 50-50 roll on the Minotaur. The Skaven player still marked for this pass. I mean, honestly, he might pass to somebody closer. 2 rushes. Here's the pass. Needed a 6+, didn't get it. That'll be the game. Odin, it's Nuffle, will be advancing to the semifinals. Congratulations to Clypheus. I guess MVP will go to the pig. I know the pig's getting the MVP in my book. Move says GG to both. Yes, indeed. Very well played. Well played by all 4 coaches tonight. What a great game that was. Yeah, that was a great game. Lots of, oh boy, such good Blood Bowl. And we have more to go. We have more to go. With that win, Odin and Nuffle will advance to the semifinals. They'll be facing off against the number 1 seed, the NC Snakes. That's a Dark Elf versus Norse match. But before that, we've got 2 more quarterfinal games to get through. On Thursday, we have the Believe Broncos versus Philosopher's Song. And then next Tuesday, we'll look at the schedule here in just a minute. We have the Blitzburg Steelers versus the Gutter Balls. All great coaches, of course. They're all top 8 teams, 27 entered this competition. We're down to 6. The top 2 teams, remember the 2 finalists will earn a guaranteed invitation to the championship later in the season. but other teams may qualify based on how that bracket shapes up. So we'll take a look at the schedule before we leave. Man, those were great. Those are great games. 4 more games here left in the Chaos Cup, and then we have 2 more open competitions this season, and we have the Blood Bowl at the end of the season. Lots more Blood Bowl to go. All right, coming up next this Thursday, May 1st at 11 o'clock a.m., if you can believe it, we're going to have the Believe Broncos versus Philosopher's Song, BB Nut versus Spire. That's going to be Nurgle versus something. If I was Philosopher's Song, what would I be? I would be Lizards. That's Nurgle versus Lizards. BB Nut versus Spire. And then this Tuesday, May 6th at 8:30 p.m. These are all EDT, so that's UTC -4, by the way. We have the Blitzburg Steelers versus the Gutterballs. We have JD Whitey versus El Nubarino, and that is going to be a classic matchup. That's going to be Skaven versus Orcs. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. After that, we'll have our 2 semifinal matches, and then, of course, we'll have our finals before we open up registration for the Spike Magazine Trophy. And if you want to join the Spike Magazine Trophy, you're more than welcome to. It's an open competition. It's open to everyone, whether you've played Blood Bowl or not. There's a link to our Discord. You can come hang out in the Discord. You can tag me in the Blood Bowl channel and say, hey, I want to sign up for the Spike Magazine Trophy. I'll put you on the list. When sign-ups start, I'll tell you how to get signed up. It's dead simple. And anyone can play. The league's been set up in such a way that whether you've been a 40-year veteran of the game or whether you've never played before, you have lots of opportunities to play against really good people, really cool people, talk shop, get better at the game, have a lot of fun, punch some skinks in the face. It's a lot of fun. I love this game very much. That's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all very much for hanging out and watching these first 2 games of our quarterfinals. I hope we'll see you here Thursday morning as well. After the quarterfinals are done next Tuesday, we'll begin scheduling the semifinals, and when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to that schedule on our website at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB, here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, X, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game, look at this. There's a giant snake coming out of her back. How could you not want to play this game? You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and a tabletop forum at your friendly local game store until this Thursday, May 1st at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening.